Good evening. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call this Board of Select meeting to order for September 25th and ask you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And a roll call.
Art Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham. I didn't get a call from Scott, so. Next item is C, to approve meeting minutes from Board of Select meeting from August 28th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for August 8th, 28th, 2023.
I'll second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next is we have approved amended Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from the June 26, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for June 26th, 2023.
And I'll second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item D, public comment. Does anybody here in the public wish to speak to the Board of Selectmen at this time?
I do.
And for the record, just so we can get it on this.
Yep. My name is Paul Gadd.
Paul what?
Gadd, G-A-D-U-E. I have a situation, administrative issue that I would like to, get added to the agenda, try to get resolved. So I just want to say that, just start by saying that I was born, raised in Plainfield, went to school in Plainfield. My kids went to school in Plainfield, my two kids. I've worked in a town for over 21 years as a police officer, retired and honorably. And during my time as a police officer, I did give a lot to the town. And like a lot of people, in law enforcement, they get divorced. So I had to pay child support. That child support was electronically transferred to my ex-wife. No issues with that. Didn't cause any undue strain or stress on the town. As far as getting that done, it was just a simple line item, a transfer straight from my check. In addition to paying child support as part of the divorce settlement, I had to give a portion of my pension to my ex-wife. So when I retired in 2022 from the police department, attorney drafted paperwork and then sent it over to the town, requesting that this amount get distributed to her and that this amount, the approved amount, gets distributed to me. The attorney reached out to the town, and they're saying that the town doesn't comply with that type of order, and that the burden is going to be on me to distribute those funds. Unfortunately, what that does is that creates a burden of tax burden all on me. That means that it's going to count towards my financial, my gross income and all the taxes on me. So my ex-wife's attorney attempted to reach out to the town's attorney to reach some sort of resolution and got no response. So in September 13th, I emailed and then spoke with Kevin to try to resolve the issue. He said he would get back to me. After not hearing anything for a couple days, I did see him in the parking lot and stopped to talk to him. He said that the town's attorney was going to reach out to me. And as of this day, I have not heard from either Kevin or from the town's attorney in regards to trying to resolve this issue. So frustrated, I did contact Paul Sweet. Obviously he was the first selectman here for some time to just get some insight into this issue. Because I figured I'm not the first one to get divorced in the town, and a portion of their pension have to go to their ex-spouse. So, and speaking with him, he said years ago, back when he was here, they changed how things were managed because the town was administering the distribution of funds, and it was creating an undue burden on the town, meaning that they were getting involved in checks, mailing checks, fund amount changes. It was just overwhelming. So what he was saying. So they changed, how they handled that and not getting involved in that issue. So I explained to Paul that and to, and now to you guys here, is that the pension amount is a fixed amount. I mean, the dollar amount's not going to change. And in this day and age of direct deposit, there's no hard checks anymore. There's not going to be any burden to the town as far as accomplishing that. So the only thing that the town is going to get involved in is sending a correspondence to the ex-wife to get her tax information resolved, written down, and then banking information. And then, like I said, we're talking to Paul. He just said that it's not going to cost the town anything. There's no money out of your pocket to get this done. It's simply Kevin just reaching out to the finance department and saying, do it. So that's what I'm here today to try to, get this situation resolved. Because for me, after working here for over 21 years and being a citizen of this town for 22 years, for 52 years, this one little minor thing is I don't understand why it's such a hard thing to just say, distribute the funds in these two ways. It's not going to be a burden to the town whatsoever, except for picking up the phone or sending an email to the company that mails out the pension checks. So, frustrated that I can't get this resolved. It's been over a year. So, that's what I have to say.
So your request was to put this on the agenda for discussion?
Well, this issue is going to come up again and again and again. I mean, people are getting divorced all the time. I know somebody at the police department that's in the process of getting a divorce. This pension issue is going to come up again. So as to why it hasn't come up to this point, I don't know. I know that a lot of people don't stay in Plainfield, so there hasn't been anybody who retired with a pension. Not many people that have retired with a pension. So this issue hasn't come up. I don't know about other people within the town, how their pension system works, but I know a lot of people from the state and from other agencies that when they get divorced and their pension goes to their ex-spouse, there's never an issue. It's not an issue. So they get a portion, the portion comes to me. I'm not asking for anything more, I'm not asking for anything less, but it changes because I'm currently still working. Because I'm working, depending on how much I work, that changes my tax bracket by taking that, by adding her amount into mine. So how can I resolve how much I'm supposed to take out in taxes? And now I'm going to be burdened with this every month to get her a check, to send her a check, send her a check, send her a check. And so this it just can be resolved with a simple call, somebody in finance and just say, get it done, as far as what I was told. And there's no issue with the union. I'm not a part of the union. This is just a simple, hey, we're gonna step up and get this done for you.
I would say that the first thing is we have a discussion with the attorney tomorrow, and they were supposed to reach out to, so I will follow up with the attorney to make sure that they do, number one. This is also not the board to go in front of it. We would actually be the pension board, because they would be the ones who could make a change if there was change to be made. So,
well, the dollar amount's set. It's just a simple going to the company that is distributing the funds to get it done.
But this is also part of a quadro, which I look back at the history of this. There hasn't been a quadro example through the town of Plainfield ever.
Okay.
So this would be something setting precedence. Again, I would ask for a review by the attorney to make sure you get a reply back tomorrow. And then if there's something that we can do in the pension board, we do it there.
So, future.
Pension board, we have another pension meeting, special one coming up at the end of the month, so 2 weeks from...
ultimately, regardless of the quattro, you're the end-all be-all to just say get it done. Whether...
But I also listened to the attorney, and the attorney's advice is at this point is...
Okay, so I don't understand what the issue is.
Again, this will be...
Set precedents.
What precedent?
All the divorced people will want us to do this.
Okay.
And split up their retirement checks to go two different places.
Well, only if it's ordered.
Let me ask you, when you get your retirement check from us, do you put it in your bank?
Yes.
Now, you can't set up something with your bank to direct deposit the same amount to your wife?
It has a lot to do
correct,
with
but
that.
the tax burden is mine.
On your tax form, there is a spot if you're paying to
There's not one set up for this. I already went to a tax person, and she reached out to her accountant and said that, because they said that you can file it under a Schedule 1, that it deducts, but ultimately it's still going to be a double tax on me. because I'm paying for it when the taxes are taken out initially, and then it's going to be counted towards, I don't know all the ins and outs. I just know that I went to a tax,
And this is another reason to speak with our lawyer to figure out these issues too, because if it is something that you could do on your own, then why should the town?
well, if I could do it on my own, I tried. That's why it's been taking so long, because now it's like, as my income raises, so doesn't my tax, footprint. And, it's, who's gonna suffer, she's saying that, why should she suffer because I'm making this much money, and that increases my tax burden. And,
Yeah, I get the tax burden.
Yeah,
If
so-
if there's no line item on the tax form
Mhm.
to deduct that, I understand that, so. yeah.
and again, I can't be the first one in the town history of Plainfield that a portion of their pension has to go to other people. And if not, it's gonna be coming soon. And the
I've been on the pension board for 4 years.
Yep,
And we just give it to the person who's retiring.
yep.
That's it. There's not two people on it. So I haven't seen that happen. In my 4 years, I haven't seen that happen.
Mhm.
But anyway, like Kevin said, it would have to be brought to the pension board for the whole pension board to discuss. We're not the only ones on the pension board. There are other people on it, there's 3 other people on the pension board, so we would have to
With
discuss
the
it now.
October holiday, I think is the 9th,
The
the
10th.
10th, we'll have a meeting on the 10th.
Okay.
Any other member of the public here who wishes to speak at this time?
Tom Sinkowitz, Plainfield. On your agenda for a discuss and approve burglar system for the highway department. I know burglar system, because I'm familiar with security systems, can entail motions, contact sensors. It could also entail surveillance cameras. So I was curious if this package that you're going to be discussing right now, does it also involve installation of security cameras?
Security cameras would not be in that grouping, but I will get to that in a minute. So,
Okay.
any other member of the public to speak at this time? If not, we go into, there is no old business for item E, so we go right to new business. I'll have to read through here, so bear with me. We're going to consider an act on tax refunds as requested by the tax collector totaling $869.37. Tasmanian Tree Devil LLC, $75.80. Hyundai Leasing Titling Trust, $308.11. Nicholas Prue, $62.78. Brian W. Newbury, $29.17. Angela M. Newbury, $11.41. Again, Brian W. Newbury, $37.30. Jeremiah Jones, $32.29. Timothy Edwards, $6.03. Charles Corson Esquire, $90.75. Matthew LaValle, $57.67. Benjamin Burdick, $45.61. Acar Leasing Ltd, $34.01. Timothy Edwards, the second one, which is $12.35. Joseph P. and Susan M. Parentu, $12.62, and Kyle Hines, $53.47.
Make a motion to approve the tax refunds in the amount of $869.37.
And I will second that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 2 is to discuss and approve a bid for Plainfield Lions Park RFP to post and set a date opening. Plainfield bid occurred in October, and I'd like to see that happen actually in October. The sealed bid be open October 24th. What you have in front of you is a packet which is the bid itself. Putting it out to bid, a mandatory pre-bid conference would be held, I would like to see it held at October 10th at 10 a.m. at Plainfield Town Hall, and then the sealed bid itself to be opened on the 24th of October, at which time all public openings will be done in the lobby at 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. on that one. So that's a bid package which we put forth for that project.
I had 2 questions.
Okay, I'll try to answer.
Yeah. The fitness center,
Yep.
does this bid include them
Yes.
setting it all up?
Yep.
And they're going to use all the angles and everything that the fitness center sends us? Okay. And the other thing was the lump sum of $350. That's a cap. There's a cap,
Yep. What's the
$350.
page you have on that one?
First was the back somewhere. Okay, come on, get right here. 57. General specifications, bid prices.
Yep.
Number 8.
Yep. Lump sum proposal, not exceed 350.
Okay. All my questions. I make a motion to approve the bid for Plainfield Lions Park, RFP. You want the dates too?
No, that's okay. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3 and item number 4, just so you know, I was looking to get, usually what you do is you go out and ask people, if you were to bid, what would your numbers be? Try to get some numbers close, to have an idea of the cost. We had one company that came back and gave us a bid numbers on both of these very early. We were waiting for the second one. I kept on telling us, yeah, we'll come back. And finally,
That's why I was April,
yeah, so it finally came back in, and I would make take no action on these two, because both of these came over that threshold. One was over 10,000, one was over 5. So I'm going to be putting it out to bid for each one of these two, and that way it'll come back definitely with a sealed bid for the first one. Now that they've actually reached back out to us, so that's why we had to wait. And companies are very, it's tough to find people who really want to do certain types of work, and either they're so busy, or they don't have enough staff to do it, or they've already committed to other things. So I will take no action items on either, on both of those, item 3 and number 4.
You want to do them separate?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to take no action on item 3.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
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 I'll make a motion to take no action on item 4.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we'll go out to see if we can get a sealed bid on the 2 items. Item number 5 is to discuss and approve expenditure of ARPA funds for final change orders on funding the old Plainfield Annex demolition. Through the process of any, especially any demolition which has noted issues like asbestos, you go out and you try to do the best you can. We work with Mr. Gare. Mr. Gare went in and did evaluations as well, because they did it before. But as you were tearing things down, they would look at it and say, okay, we have to evaluate what this is. So what you'll see in front of you is there were 3 change orders. The first 2 were related directly to asbestos change orders. So the first time they went through it, and they're doing floor by floor or sections of the building, and the first change order was for $39,300. Second change order was, really it was for $18,842.50. And then the third change order was something that was talked about, instead of doing a grass over area, and let it grow and seed, because we'd already applied for a grant for $500,000 for a pavilion, which we believe we should be able to get. We decided this time, though, when you get a grant, it takes a lot of time to have it engineered properly, have it go through B&Z, have it go through all the stages and steps in order for it to actually occur. So we anticipated probably 1.5 years for that whole function to happen. So even if you get the grant, it's 1.5 years away. So we decided at that time the best thing to do would be to utilize that as an extension of the parking lot area. And so there's more parking for events, whether it be football, whether it be for spring events, whether it be for graduation ceremony. That's what we're looking to do. So that's why the millings are put up there instead. And so that's why the grand total here, if you added all 3 together, is $75,110.50. And we have monies available still with ARPA, so we can utilize that if you so choose.
I'll make a motion to approve an expenditure of the ARPA funds for final change orders on the old Plainfield High School annex in the amount of $75,110.50.
I will second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Last item we have up is discuss act on request for line item transfers for additional construction costs for Shepherd Hill sidewalks. This isn't a lot, it just has to be done properly, and we have in front of you the request for moving monies from the amount of $2,300 to transfer from the account for GIS hosting to the engineering firm to cover that cost for the final piece of the Shepherd Hill sidewalk project. So we have to approve, if we were to approve this, it goes forward again to the Board of Finance for a line-item transfer request.
I'll make a motion to approve the line item transfer request in the amount of $2,300 from GIS hosting to engineer firm line item and send it to Board of Finance.
Made that motion, I will second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that is the end of that section, but I wanted to go to other. Other is we will have to have look around from staff to assume roles for Title VI coordinator. If anybody's also interested in Eastern Regional Tourism Board representative for the fair housing representation for support, and we'll have to start searching for those right away. Also in your packet, you'll see something else, which is for other.
Those positions were all staff related.
It was before, yes. But the Eastern Regional doesn't have to be, but we're just going to put it out there saying we're looking. So you'll see that there's a letter that was sent to us for ordinance 99. It's for 12 Railroad Ave, and they've started the process of preparing the old St. John's School. You see the fencing that's around it now. They put their paperwork in September 1st, and we spoke about this a little bit today, because we didn't have all the paperwork from the demolition team, which they did send today. But they have to go out there and let every board and commission know, as you can see. A copy goes to the town clerk, Board of Selectmen, zoning, conservation, economic development, municipal historian, historical society, and any abutters that own property in that area. They finally came through with their paperwork today, like I was mentioned before, about their licensing for demolition and also for abatement. So that's been the process, and then I just wanted to show you have a copy of it now for the Board of Selectmen. That is it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 7:23. All in favor say aye.
Aye.